Today I'm reviewing the Arkadim Legend Part 1, an introductory story for a promising multi-module campaign created by Surya Fiona LM Rhiannon. The module is recommended for level 1 characters and it took me a little over 1 hour to complete. In this adventure, you have been recruited by an ancient peacekeeping organization known as the Order of Arkadim. As the story begins, you've been summoned by Maven Arilith to begin your initiation task, which is to find a magic glowing object. You are told this object can be found in one of 3 nearby caves: the Sinking Hole, named for the unique stench found there, the Dire Fang Cave, named after the vicious wolves that lurk within, and the Rat's Nest, named for the rodents you'll encounter during your visit. I really like that you are given several options for where to look for the magic object. However, I find it a little silly that when you arrive at the locations where the object isn't found, there's just a sign that says, "Too bad, wrong choice, try the other 2 locations." This really killed the mood for me, and it just reminded me of Toadstool at the end of the castles in Mario. Did the Order actually come into these caves and put this sign here? I don't get it. I think it would have been better to have some stones or mushrooms with some action text that says, I don't think this is what Maven wanted us to find. She said it was a glowing object. This must be the wrong cave. I really felt like the sign was just out of place. Once you've found the glowing object, you are able to return to Maven to finish your initiation into the Order. She rewards you with a trinket and then explains that there are 3 divisions in the Order. The Legionnaire Division, which is tasked with combat missions, the Scout Division, which is typically tasked with covert operations such as information retrieval, and the Caster Division, which is in charge of handling magic artifacts that might be harmful in the wrong hands. Each of these divisions will be self-contained in their own series of modules later on. My character is a wizard, so I'm planning on pursuing the Caster Division. In addition to the main quest, there are additional side quests which really add to the flavor of the world the author is trying to create. These are given to players who interact with other members of the Order. As an example of the flavor that is added to the adventure by these quests, I'll explain one which is given by Dio the Swift. He wants the party to travel to the Eric Cave to check out rumors of a hidden passage which may lead to a long-forgotten ruin. Additionally, he warns the party that the cave is named after a horrible broodmother from long ago. After visiting this area, several seeds had been planted about future adventures, and it left me wanting to know more about the mythos of the world around me. It is obvious that the author has invested a lot of time into the story and much of the dialogue, but every now and then there's something like the sign in the cave that just kills the mood immediately. Another example of this is when a character says, "Thanks for helping us. I sure hope we won't lose cred for this." Why is this character using the slang cred? I just don't get it. It doesn't fit the fantasy setting here at all. And it completely kills it for me. Something I loved about this adventure was that it was more than just another hack and slash. You actually have to utilize your character's abilities to find everything. For example, here I am in a dungeon and I can see that there are some goodies up ahead. However, there are obstacles blocking my way. This is a little puzzle that can't be solved by simply killing a monster. I won't give away the solution, but the author does drop hints on how to solve it. Another thing that bothered me was that you get all of the quests at the beginning of the story. I'm all for having more than just a main quest, and having lots of dialogue and flavor text to enhance your world is great. However, spending the first 20 minutes clicking through dialogue boxes, followed by an hour of very little dialogue, just wasn't for me. I would really have liked to see the dialogue spaced throughout the adventure a little bit better. For example, the author could have made it so that other members of the Order wouldn't give the adventurers tasks until they had visited some of the other locations in the world. Or they could have placed additional quests in other locations of the world that are given when you arrived there. I think this would have gone a long way in reducing how annoyed I was getting by having to click through all the dialogue at the very beginning. Something that was really weird was a boss creature that seemed to be bugged. I know this isn't completely the author's fault, but I'm fairly certain this is a bug related to adding an extra ability to the monster. I've seen this happen on other creatures with the charge ability. For example, I gave it to a zombie in one of my modules and the zombie just sort of glitched out. It was kind of funny. When the author playtested this part, they probably just thought it was a weird bug that would resolve itself. I know this isn't the author's fault, but I think they really should go back and remove this ability or fix the dire wolf in some way to make it so it's not flying through the air at my characters. Finally, I want to say that this module was very easy. I was playing it solo with all 4 characters and the AI was disabled, so I had to manually control all of the things my party did. I usually do this for the challenge. Unfortunately, I never had to pause the game to actually make my characters do anything specific. Instead, I was able to sort of just bulldoze over most of the creatures and not worry about the damage too much. There was one point where my characters almost wiped due to my inattention. However, it really wasn't that hard at all. This lack of challenge is almost certainly my own fault, as the module is recommended for level 1 characters and I was playing it with a level 6 wizard. I will say that the story has left me wanting to know what is going to happen, and because of this I really hope the author beefs up the encounters in future modules. It is obvious the author has put a lot of effort into this story and has created a fun adventure for people to enjoy. The story I rate as a 3.5 as it was interesting and left me wanting to know more. The fun I give a 3 because it was more than just a hack and slash romp through a handful of dungeons, and the challenge I give a 2 because it was just really too easy at level 6. Again, this was likely my own fault. Overall, I rated the Arkadim Legends Part 1 as a 3 out of 5 module that is absolutely worth checking out if you have an hour of free time. After playing it, be sure you rate it and give the author feedback. I posted a link in the description box to his official forum post, so you should go check it out if you have a moment. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and will go check out the Arkadim Legends. Also, if you've written a module and you'd like me to review it in a future video, go over to the Sword Coast Legends forum and create a topic describing your module. I'll put a link to the Looking for Adventure area in the description box below. Be sure to include a nice description of what I'll be getting myself into, including the recommended level and an estimated completion time. Once you've done that, come back here and post a link in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to keep on creating.